Well, hi. I know it's been a while since I made anything for the channel, and I apologize, but I just want to do this really quick while it's fresh in my mind. I just watched a video about this preacher, fairly well-known Calvinist, and he's talking about how Pentecostals, or those who prescribe to the Pentecostal doctrine, specifically private prayer language, speaking in tongues, and all that jazz, that they're not Christian, but they're actually demonically possessed. Like, has he not read 1 Corinthians? Okay, the entire point of the book of 1 Corinthians was to instruct. You got to remember that the church in Corinth, Paul was expressing a slight frustration with them in their lack of growth. Remember, he says that he called them babes in Christ, how he longed to share them the meat of the word, but he couldn't, and he still couldn't then. So the teachings in the book of 1 Corinthians are the milk. It's not even the meat yet. It's the milk. He's teaching them everything. He's teaching them about spiritual gifts, what they are, different types, who they're for, who they're given to, how they're used correctly, how they're used incorrectly. There's so much instruction in the book of Corinthians, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, those who prescribe to the whole Pentecostal tongue-speaking thing are not demonically possessed, okay, just because they speak in tongues or speak in gibberish. Remember in 1 Corinthians where it says, tongues will cease when that which is perfect is come, okay? A lot of people think that that's the Bible and all that stuff. It's not. That which is perfect, until that which is perfect has come, is their perfected testimony of who Christ is. Their testimony of Christ is not yet perfected. It is not full. It is not complete. And remember how 1 Corinthians is set up. You got chapter 12, which is the book of spiritual gifts. Chapter 14, which deals specifically with speaking in tongues. And right in the middle is chapter 13, which is known as the love chapter. The love chapter. Love is not self-seeking. The biggest thing about Pentecostalism and the whole speaking in tongues is that it is edifying, loving, and all that stuff. So that's completely wrong. But how those that follow Jesus need to respond biblically to them is that it is literally, you know how you have small children and they come to you when they're very, very young, and they have all these noises like ba da ba da ba, but they're communicating with you in their mind. They're trying to whatever. So you just deal with that in hopes of teaching them how to communicate properly until their knowledge is full, okay? This whole gibberish movement and speaking in tongues like this, it is literally a physical manifestation of a spiritual immaturity. It is a spiritual immaturity, goo goo gaga. It is a spiritual immaturity. It is not a spiritual maturity. It is a spiritual immaturity. And Paul was trying to get them to realize that, to focus on Jesus, to focus on love, that it is not self-seeking, it is not self-edifying. And the core doctrine of this Pentecostal movement is that speaking in tongues is a private prayer language for you to edify yourself. God does not do that. He made it very clear in His Word. So decide if you're going to follow Pentecostalism or follow Jesus, but they are not the same. God bless you.